best controller settings on Nintendo Switch. But before that, I'm going to be gifting some people from the item shop. So if you want to be gifted, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment your usernames down below in the comments. So if you do all 3 steps, I will gift you something from the item shop. Alright, but let's go ahead and get into these settings. So for these settings, you just need to come down into your settings and you want to open up the first page. Now on the first page, the best settings you want to use for brightness to start off with is actually a very competitive setting, and you want to have this at 125%, okay guys? And now next up, user interest contrast, okay? You want to have this at just straight up 1%, okay? And then user colorblind mode. You guys, a lot of people will be using Tritanope, but honestly guys, on the Switch, the best setting is just to have it completely off. Next up, for the colorblind strength, what you guys need to do is turn this to 0, guys, okay? Then once you've turned it to 0, next up, it doesn't actually matter about the safe zone unless you play on a TV, but if you do have it on a TV, then you can set this up, but if you're just playing on the Switch, it won't matter. Next up, super important setting, guys, to save FPS, guys. If you want to get better FPS on your Switch and be able to get less input delay, this is the setting you need to listen up for. This setting I'm going to be talking about is the graphics quality. Now, it might make your game look slightly worse, but oh my god, guys, does it make you feel so much better. It gives you better input delay and higher FPS, guys. So overall, these 2 settings right here are super important, but stay around for the actual controller settings because that's what's going to give you the aimbot. But moving on to some more useful settings that you guys should note down, such as the show FPS option. Honestly, guys, this can be a very depressing setting if you're ever in the late game and it looks like it's a very low number for FPS. So personally, to feel not at a disadvantage, I always actually play with FPS turned to off so that I don't feel bad if my FPS does drop down. And now, guys, super important saying here, power saving mode. If you guys play with this setting on, oh my god, what are you doing? This is just going to worsen your performance, give you worse input delay, make things laggier, and load in slower times. So guys, if you have power saving mode turned on, you are going to lag so much, and it's going to be no good for you guys, okay? But if you do play competition mode, and you play arena and things, you want to be turning power saving mode to off, guys, okay? So turn this setting off, because, oh my god, it's going to save you so much. Now, we've done the first page. You want to save that and then move on to the second page, guys. Now, there's some really useful settings in here that I want to teach you guys about, okay? Now, these useful settings, what you want to go ahead and do is have toggle sprint. You want to go ahead and turn this to off, guys, okay? And then basically what you can turn it to on, my bad, guys. And then once you go ahead and have sprint by default turned to on as well, it will cancel out the first settings. It doesn't really matter. Now, sprint cancels reloading. You want to go ahead and have this turned to off, and then auto open doors, you're going to have this on. Now, the reason this is, guys, is because it will automatically be sprinting now. Therefore, you can't reload, sprint counts reload, so that won't work. However, the auto open doors, if you ever fail and edit a door instead, basically what's going to happen now is you will automatically walk through the door because it auto opens the door up for you guys. So this setting is super, super important, okay? Now, next up, what you guys want to go ahead and do is just note down these exactly how I have them. And then let's go ahead and move on to where it says the preferred item slots. Now, what you guys want to go ahead and do is configure this. Now, let me tell you guys the best preferred item slots for the new season. You need to turn on the setting, and then what you are going to do is basically for the slot 1, you're going to put a shotgun. Now, we're going to be running the SMG Insane combo, guys. And now what this is, you want for slot 1, you want to go ahead and have a shotgun in the slot 1, because what this means is the RB button up here, or whatever this button's called, you go ahead and press this once and you will immediately be at your shotgun. Therefore, if you're ever in a stressful situation, you can immediately be at your shotgun by hitting this once. Next up, guys, the new overpowered strategy in the season is to use a double SMG after your shotgun. So basically what you're going to go ahead and do is carry 1 shotgun and then 2 SMGs. So as soon as the first mag runs out on the first SMG, you just swap to the second SMG and keep spraying, and you guys will literally kill everybody with this strategy. Now, for slot 4, you guys are probably wondering, what should you guys have? Well, this is where you want to go ahead and actually have a consumable item such as a mini or med kit, right, guys? And now for slot 5, the final slot for the loadout settings, is what I want you guys to go ahead and have is you can either rock utility, which would be a grenade or something, or you can go ahead and use a sniper. Either one of these are honestly so good. I actually prefer to go ahead and rock a utility item so that you can go ahead and basically throw a grenade grenade or something like that if you need to. So just go ahead and save that, okay, guys? And then once you've saved that, you want to back out. So now, next up, the next settings that are super useful that you guys are going to want to go ahead and put in is basically going to be the building tab. Now, basically, it's going to help you improve your building. So what you guys are going to want to go ahead and do is basically have your reset building choice turned to on, and now disable pre-edit option. I actually recommend you guys turning this to on as well, because this is going to mean when you go to actually edit pyramids on top of floors, then you will never mess up the edit because it won't edit the pyramid through the floor. So that will eradicate that annoying problem. Next up is turbo building. Obviously have this on, guys, and then confirm edit on release, guys. That is what you guys want to go ahead and turn to on, okay? Because that's just basically what's going to do is when you select an edit, immediately it will go ahead and actually release the button, and it will just edit as soon as you select it. So it's going to speed up your editing speeds on this game, okay, guys? Now, next up is going to be the tap to search / interact and all this sort of stuff, guys. Now, these settings are really useful, so what I want you guys to note down is to have the first two settings turned to off, and then the second two settings, which are going to be turbo, deleting creative, and tap to search / interact, have these both turned to on, guys. And then once you have done that, you want to go ahead and apply these settings, guys, okay? And let's move on to the next setting. And now the next setting is going to be the HUD. Now, what I want you to have the HUD at? Well, for Xbox and PS4, I personally would recommend 75%, but for the Switch players, I know that you guys actually go ahead and rock it a little bit differently. Therefore, catering it for the Switch, you guys need to be using 80% for the HUD scale. Okay, now we're going to have some settings we want to note down, okay, right here, guys. Now, these settings you want to go ahead and turn off is going to be pick up loot stream, guys, right here, just like this. And then map and backpack keys, I want you to go ahead and turn this off as well. Now that you've done that, guys, we can move on to the important settings, okay? So if you play motion options, guys, what you guys want to go ahead and note down is basically you want to go ahead and have motion enabled. And then you want to go ahead and change the access to your YAW. And then motion invert, you want to go ahead and have these both to off. And now for these settings right here, guys, what you're going to go ahead and do is have these on 33% for the top one there, and then you want to go ahead and have the second one at 3%, and then next up you want to have the second one at 4%, and then the very final one you want to go ahead and have this at 35%, guys, okay? So go ahead and have this at 35% and then save that. And now the main important controller settings you guys have all been waiting for this whole video. What these settings are, you're going to go ahead and note down. Okay, so what you guys want to go ahead and note down is going to be the top two settings. You want to go ahead and put the top one at the 0.1, okay, just like that, guys. And now the slide hold time, what you want to go ahead and do is put this at 0.2, okay, 0.012. There you are. And now for the look sensitivity, you guys need to go ahead and turn on advanced settings. So go ahead and turn on the advanced settings. And now what you guys want to go ahead and do here is put in 2% exactly, just like that, guys. And now for the second one, you're going to go ahead and put in 2.1%. And now for the actual horizontal speeds that you guys are going to go ahead and type in are basically going to be 37% for both of these, guys. Okay, so 37% right there. And then 39% just like that. And now for all the boosts, you want to put these at 0% pretty much, guys, and that is literally it for those. And now for the actual ADS sensitivity, you guys want to go ahead and rock this on 7% exactly. So have these both on 7%, and then once again the boost time, just turn it down to 0. Here, turn the boost time down to 0. Now on Switch, I've actually found the input is better on linear, so use linear for this sensitivity, guys. And then once you have done that, you are almost completed. The only thing you've got left is the dead zones, which you would have on 0% for both of these, okay, guys? And then you can go ahead and save them settings by applying it. So yeah, remember, guys, if you want to be gifted something from the item shop, make sure to go ahead and drop a like on the video, comment your username, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be gifting some people in the comments. Alright, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Click the video in the top right corner of the screen. See ya.